Good evening. Welcome to the new party. I'm Nora Christine.
I'm about to give a really unpopular opinion, and I'm sure it's going to be especially unpopular amongst women.
I'm Gray Mars. Break a record by being with 100 men in one day. And right after she was done, she recorded a documentary.
I'm a vegan weed. Call yourself fresh and wear the same weak ass turtleneck on every show. Goddamn. Then we got goddamn the Sudanese Sambo. Bruh, man.
And I'm Enzo. Bringing up in my lives is they're like, oh well, he's violating the Constitution by having a meme coin and him making money off it in office and everything like that. I was like, if that was the case, like there would be lawsuits up the ass and impeachment in court.
I'm skeptic. Like I always say, don't let anybody trample on your constitutional rights.
I'm Mia. That's not a correct power dynamic in my mind. Typically, the people that are trying to be removed are not in control. That's why they're easily being removed.
Yo, that was fire.
Yeah.
I like that, though. I like that.
The person that's dealt with some people in the industry, I can personally tell you, most of them are bullshit. Most of them got something going on and they crazy, and they will have you. I'm talking about they'll have you crazy.
Yeah, you look professional, bro. You look real professional. Case, like Slim said, it's the beginning, man. We're gonna see more. It's gonna unfold, and
that mean I'm doing my job.
Hey. If we sit there and be old school, we gonna miss the boat. You know, a lot of this kids 19 years old buying houses with Bitcoin, buying Maserati.
Wow.
Weren't we about to make a nuclear deal? Wasn't our deal maker in chief making a deal to keep Iran from enriching uranium? Actually, didn't we have a deal before our deal maker in chief so wisely pulled us from that deal? Why did this have to go balmy on Iran now?
And by next spring, at most, by next summer, at current enrichment rates, they will have finished the medium enrichment and move on to the final stage.
Iran is months away from having a nuclear bomb, it says Netanyahu, in 2012. Why did we have to bomb Iran now?
Iran is so dangerous. Weeks away from having the fissile material for an entire arsenal of nuclear bombs.
Holy shit, that's why. Iran's only weeks away from having an entire arsenal of nuclear bombs, says Netanyahu. In 2015. 2015. Think about that. Back when we all thought, oh no, the Republicans might nominate that madman Jeb Bush. Should have gone with the question mark. No, seriously, I'm not being facetious. I really want to know why we had to bomb Iran now.
We're going to show you Iran's secret nuclear files. Here's the warhead. Here's the bomb.
And that's from 2018. I don't know if Iran is any closer to having a bomb, but it is clear Israel now has the capacity to enrich their drawings. A hot war between Israel and Iran could threaten the United States. It's best we stay out of it.
Secretary of State Marco Rubio saying Israel took unilateral action against Iran and that the U.S. is not involved in strikes.
We're not involved. That's good. That's good.
The U.S. says it was informed beforehand.
Good neighbor policy. I mean, we were informed. They let us know. Still not being involved, really.
President Trump acknowledged yesterday that he was aware of the Israeli operation, and he gave it a green light.
It's still Israel's game.
Israel used American equipment during its initial strikes against Iran.
What the f*** are we doing? All right, so we knew, and we approved, and we gave them all the shit to do it with.
Disclaimer. The views and opinions expressed on this panel show are those of the individual speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of this channel, its affiliates, sponsors, or production team. This content is intended for informational and entertainment purposes only. Viewer discretion is advised. We encourage respectful dialogue and critical thinking around the topics discussed.
Party. Why I like the new party? Number one, it's a group of people that's on a panel. We all have differences, but we all basically still come together at the end of the day. The new party for me is about unity. The new party for me is about educating people to the truth, letting people know what's been going on in our country. With that being said, shout out to the new party, man. We're going to keep it going with y'all.
Welcome to the new party. I'm Nora Christine.
I'm Gray Mars.
And I'm Enzo.
And tonight on the new party, we will be breaking down, is the U.S. preparing to go to war with Israel to, I guess, invade, attack Iran? Also, tomorrow is the 2-year anniversary of the Titan submarine explosion. So we will be breaking that down and what happened. Guys, what do you think about my first clip?
I miss Trevor Noah on that show. It was way funnier. Yeah, I mean, this is pretty much what everybody's going to be talking about. Like we talked about it, because what's going on right now. I don't know if you guys saw, it was breaking news. They sent ships and some other stuff like over there. So this is like the main thing that's going on. I know like the right is torn, like MAGA and Tucker Carlson, all these people that don't want to go to war anymore, Candace Owens, and then, you know, because Trump was basically like he was going to end war. So I guess that's why they're upset.
Enzo, what's your thoughts?
I mean, I had a feeling some escalation was going to come because the other night, I followed the Flight Tracker app, and I'm in a group on Facebook, and they posted that 15 KC-135s were en route to Europe. And I'm like, that's not a drill. And then you have the E-4B Doomsday plane circling above the Arctic Circle over there, which is pretty much like the Night Watch, as well as what's it called? Like the air traffic control in the sky to see what's going on. So I mean, like, okay, I knew something was going on. We knew about the attacks that Israel was planning because we've known about this for weeks on Iran. The escalation at this point, I don't like seeing it whatsoever. I don't want anything to happen. I want us to be out of this as far away as possible because this is not going to end well for anybody. Netanyahu has been saying there's been WMDs in the Middle East since 2003. I don't believe a word he's saying at all because he said the same exact thing in about Iraq in 2003, and that's what got us into that war. So I like, and then I do believe in certain aspects that maybe Iran does have some, but I'm not believing it from Israel whatsoever. So I'm kind of torn on it in both ways.
Yeah, and Iran posted breaking. Iranian state media says there's a surprise tonight that the world will remember for centuries. Let's watch this clip. Let's see what they have to say about it, and then we can give reactions because this is a breaking news clip.
Breaking news that's coming in from our partner channel, NBC. As we were reporting earlier, the national security team inside the Situation Room have been meeting with President Trump, and multiple current and former administration officials are saying that President Trump is considering a range of options, including a possible U.S. strike on Iran. So that's just coming in from NBC News, saying following that national security meeting that President Trump had in the Situation Room, we understand that a range of options, including a possible U.S. strike on Iran, could potentially be on the table. Got some breaking news that's coming in from our partner channel.
So, what do we think about this, guys? Are we going to see boots on the ground? Gray, what's your predictions and what's your thoughts?
I wanted to add. I don't know if you guys heard this. Tulsi Gabbard, the one that was known she was independent, or what's her last name? Enzo
Tulsi Gabbard.
Gabbard. That she had said that they didn't have any. So Trump was like,
And
"Oh,
just in March. So, make sure you
yeah,
add that. Just in March.
and then Trump was like, "Oh, I don't care what she said." I don't necessarily know if they'll have to go to boots on the ground. I mean, because if you look at Ukraine right now, they haven't sent boots on the ground. We've been funding that war for a while, and then we did with Israel and the West Bank and Gaza and everything. There's no boots on the ground, so I don't know if he'll go that far. But I mean, Trump did say we have control of the airspace. So I'm assuming that he's at least sending aircraft over there.
Yeah, and Enzo, before you answer, this is what Tehran looks like tonight. So these are the images coming out. Iran is absolutely lighting them up as we speak. And guys, like another thing I want to add is this is a sophisticated country. The largest mall in the world is in Tehran. So we're not talking about people living in mountains. It's a sophisticated modern country that
You're something wrong with your mic, Nora. You sound
Can
better
you hear
now.
me now?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Based on knowing that they are a sophisticated country, Enzo, what's your predictions?
So with the first clip that we saw, that could be one of two things: an earth-shattering, breaking news. We have a peace deal and a ceasefire for all this to stop. Do I really think that's going to happen? I don't think so. I just because I looked it up before I got on the live, what assets the United States has in the Middle East as of today. We got 40 to 50,000 troops stationed between Bahrain, Egypt, Israel, Jordan, Kuwait, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, Syria, UAE, countless squadrons of aircraft, Nimitz strike group over there right now, and then the refueling aircraft. I haven't seen or heard of anything like that since 2003 when we went into Iraq. That's what's scaring me with the number of assets that we have over there right now. So I think tonight, unfortunately, is going to be the declaration of war.
I do agree. And also, I want to give you guys some numbers and then I want to play a clip coming out of Iran. So, guys, just to keep in mind, IDF, which is Israel, has 169,000 active troops. They are the 28th largest military size in the world. Do you guys know how many Iran has?
No, I mean
960,000 personnel. So, I mean, again, guys, Iran is one of the largest in the world. I think definitely we're larger. I think Russia's larger. But think about it. Russia, they're friends with them. That's a scary number.
The numbers don't really mean anything. They're using fourth generation aircraft. I mean, I just seen the videos earlier that they're still using F-14s that we sent to them in the 1970s. They have all Soviet era tanks and everything like that. They're not as sophisticated as Israel. And as we can see, I mean, let's look at what happened between the United States and Iran back in Operation Praying Mantis. We took out their navy in 6 hours. And
well, I mean, Israel also touts this Iron Dome, and I can show you lots of images where the Iron Dome didn't hold up. I'm gonna play this clip coming out of Iran, and here we go.
زدن اسرائیل برای ما شاید سخت‌تر از زدن پایگاه‌های آمریکا تو منطقه باشه. فاصله 8 دقیقه است تا موشک‌های ما بخواد برسه و اونم موفق نمیشه. الحمدلله سری هم داره چون موشک من اینجا باز عرض بکنم باز از سردار شهیدمون حاجی زاده من چون این جهت رو زیاد
خدا رحمت کنه رضوان الله علیه چه حکمتی داره که دو بار نام ایشان آمد
بله ایشون میگه موشک وقتی که شلیک میشه شما دانشجو هستید بین 16 تا 18 ماخ سرعت میگیره از اینجا که میره اینو چی جوری من بخوام علت اینکه ما موشکمون اصابت میکنه هیچ بله قوی ترین پدافند دنیا دست ایناست اما هیچ پدافند 100% تو عالم نداریم برای همین ما در عملیات وعده صادق 2 حدوداً 80% موشک‌هایمون اصابت کرده با اینکه سازمان پدافندی و لبه تکنولوژی دنیا دست ایناست اما نمیشه اما تو پایگاه آمریکا عرض بکنم این 8 دقیقه نیست. موشک همینجا که برخاست بین بعضی که پایگاه مختلفش 2 تا 4 دقیقه موشک که برخاست اصابت میکنه. لذا شما هیچ پدافندی رو ندارید، حواس اینا جمعه. زدن ناو برای ما حتما امکان داره و ممکنه بگیم آقا اینا جمع میکنن میرن عقب، برفرض اگه یه چیزی پیش بیاد. خب اگه عقب رفتن پس نمیتونن تعرضی به ما داشته باشن. اگه بگید با موشک میزنن، موشکای ما هم حتما خواهد رسید. ما برای جزیره دیوگو گارسیا که اینا دنبالش بودن، برای اونا هم برنامه‌ریزی داریم. همه اینا مورد رصد ما قرار داره. ناو آمریکا هم همینجا اعلام میکنم چند هزار نفر اونجا. با آمریکا عرض میکنم دست با خطا کردی، قبلش یه کار قبلش انجام بده، بعداً شما نسبت به ملت ایران تعرض داشته باش. یه 50,000 تابوت رو اول بیار، آماده بکن برای نیروهات، بعداً یه چشم چپ به ملت ایران نگاه بکنید.
Did y'all hear what they said? Like, did you read what they said? They pretty much said, hey, they may not think we have that powerful weapons, but we broke through that Iron Dome. And if America tries something, they got 50,000 people out there. They got that ship and we'll blow it up. I mean, what's y'all thoughts on that?
I agree with Enzo to an extent about the outdated weaponry, just because who's Iran's allies. But we did see in the Ukraine war that they sent Russia drones, so they do have like drone capability and some updated technology. What I would say with the Middle East, I don't know if Iran is going to be as resilient as maybe like Afghanistan or something like the terrorists, but their deep religious beliefs, I feel like, make them feel like we're going to be martyrs and we're not going to allow this shit to happen. So, like, because based on religion. So that's what I feel like is going to be like much harder, and not putting this on them, but they're very, they anti-Semitic in some ways, or they don't like Israel or whatever. So this is a deep seated enemy that is personal.
That's a good point. Enzo, what do you think?
See, I don't really care for this entire war if it's just because Israel wants us to go in there and help them do their dirty work and make a regime change. But if it comes down to, like he said, we move the wrong way, that they're going to take out American troops, no, like that right there, I'm sorry. Like, I see that as a threat and a declaration of war in itself. Like, that's exactly what I look at that as. Like, we shouldn't be dealing with this. I don't agree with if Iran has nuclear capabilities, or if they don't. I don't believe a country like Iran should be able to have nuclear capabilities. And the simple fact that they are a hub for terrorists, they've been taken over by terrorist groups before. What are we to say that it won't happen again and those will fall into the wrong hands? Even if they don't have nuclear capable missiles as of far, what if they have weaponized uranium? They can make dirty bombs. That's even worse in my eyes than a nuclear weapon. So I kind of agree with maybe going the route of like we tried to do in 2003, sending weapons inspectors and inspectors over there to see what's really going on before the escalation of a war. But at this point, that's way too far gone. It's going to go down to, if it goes down to, it's going to be all out warfare. And I'm honestly kind of scared for it because they have China's backing at the end of the day. I don't know so far about Russia. I don't know really what's going on there. But the second we move in, China's going to move in there, but they're not going to put all their forces on that front line. They're going to take Taiwan. So it's going to be a two-front war. And then Russia is the wild card in this. Who knows what way they're going to go. That's going to be all out World War III at that point.
Yeah. So let me say this. I've read people on both sides. I'm not going to say the left. I'm not going to make it a left or right issue, but on both sides saying, well, I support Iran. Well, let me be clear. I support America. So if we go in, I'm supporting our troops. However, I don't want people going into this, looking into this, thinking, oh, they ain't got the same technology. They ain't got this. They ain't got that. Listen, you know what they got? Gray made a good point. They got I don't give a F mentality. They've got we are martyr mentality. And when you have that, you will FAFO to the end, okay? They don't care. They are willing to die because ideologically, I need you to understand, they are Shiite Muslims. They are not the same as Sunni Muslims. Let me be clear. Sunni Muslims, they're the okay Muslims, but the Shiites, and I'm saying this as a fourth generation Muslim descendant of Muhammad. These are not the same kind of people, okay? They are different. They don't care. They don't care about loss of life. They don't care about us. They hate Americans. But also going back to someone said in the chat, this is about Benjamin Netanyahu not wanting to go to jail. Gray said, why would he go to jail? So let's be clear. At the start of this uh, war, as of October 7th in Gaza and Israel, at the time, Netanyahu was being investigated. Okay. So the benefit for Netanyahu to drag all this shit out is so his ass don't got to go to jail. And I don't really know the full details on it, but I'm just giving you the summary of it. And that's not anti Semitic. I love Jewish people. Let me be clear before people start coming for me in the chat. That is facts. He did not want to go to jail. Okay. He was being investigated. Enzo, you're shaking your head. Do you know more on it before we get off of that?
I see. I don't know exactly what he was being investigated on that part, but after October 7th happened, I'm pretty sure a world committee came together and agreed that he was committing war crimes and that he was going to be arrested for war crimes too. So even if just the one case that you're speaking about, or even the war crimes right there, because I mean it's explicit, it's all out there, and you can go on certain websites and literally watch the war crimes that he's allowing his troops to commit.
Correct. And let me say this, October 7th was disgusting. I'm denouncing it. However, there were a lot of things being done to the Palestinian people that I'm sorry, I don't stand with. They were arresting them, they were detaining them, little boys, little kids, and doing horrible things to them. Let's be clear. And I'm not saying that October 7th was justified for that reason, but there's a lot with that situation. And again, this is what I think a lot of people on the right around America, I'm not going to make it a left or right issue, why they're anti this whole situation with Iran, because is this an America issue or are we doing this to protect Israel? Gray, thank you for your service as someone that served in the armed forces. What's your thoughts on a potential invasion that we may have boots on the ground?
I think it's bad, especially because it's probably gonna be loss of life. It's probably gonna be loss of limbs. Probably a lot of young men that go over there, but it's also gonna be some people where it changed their lives, like myself. I mean, like I went to Iraq immediately after high school, changed my life financially, educationally, everything. So it depends on how you look at the situation. But as far as a war for the U.S., I just feel like it's costly because if you look at what happened with Iraq and Afghanistan war, went on for so long, and they said we spent billions and billions of dollars on it, so we're still like hurting from that. But I wanted to ask y'all a question because Mia had put in the chat. I don't know if y'all watched the video that Netanyahu was keeping.
Oh yeah.
Is that true?
Yes. So what's happening right now, and I'll pull up the article. Enzo may know something on it too, but pretty much what's happening is they've grounded a lot of the flights. Enzo, are you aware of that?
That they grounded all the flights literally like around Iran.
No, it's Israel. It's Israel too, hun, because the airport was attacked too. Yeah, Israel urges citizens not to travel, airlines to bring standard Israelis back home, no outward flights. So pretty much they're allowing inbound flights, but they're not allowing outbound flights. So Americans are calling up Trump and they're saying, please help me get back home. I'm stuck here, which I don't blame them. I wouldn't want to be stuck somewhere where you're literally a target. But pretty much they've canceled the flight. So that's what she's talking about. But I think it's because it's for safety reasons. I understand why they want to leave, but I understand why Israel canceled the flights. Israel announced that all flights until June 19th, some until June 23rd, are canceled. The Israeli flag carrier had earlier suspended all flights. That once approvals are received from the relevant security and aviation authorities, we will do everything possible to allow as many Israelis to return home. So pretty much the flights are canceled. I'm thinking it's due to safety reasons because their air traffic controllers probably have to monitor the skies. That would be my reason why I'm thinking it's happening.
For sure. But what she had put in there was that Netanyahu was holding American citizens and basically trying to hold them as hostages. So America feels like they have to jump into the war. Yeah, speaking of somebody I was
That's
in
a valid
Iraq.
point.
Me and Doc was in Iraq together, and so he's talking about would I do it again? He said he's down, but I said no.
Enzo, you gonna sign up?
Like I said it to you guys in the chat. The only way that I would enlist is if some 9/11-esque attack happened on American soil. I made a promise to myself years and years ago, if that ever happened, I 100% would put my life on the line for everybody over here, because that's American citizens the other day. If it's something like this where it's just an unjust war where there's no real justification in my eyes, I don't think I would pull myself to do it. So I respect everybody and anybody who has served and who will serve because of what's going on. I get it. That's just I just would need something crazy in life to happen for me to do so.
Yeah, how would you be able to be on a podcast? You like, nah, I'm famous. I can't do that.
No, it doesn't matter. What was his name? The football player.
Apparently, King is a part of the podcast. King is active.
That was sad. I know who you're talking about. Is I think he played
Is it
for
Pat Till, right?
Yeah, he ended up losing his life, and this is a conspiracy theory. I don't want people to say that this is true, but when I was in there, somebody said, "Oh, it was friendly fire because he was acting like he was better than people."
No, that's not what I heard. I heard it was friendly fire because he was speaking about the justification why they went there, that he knew it was bullshit and was calling it out. And
So
that's what I heard.
Yeah. So, but you heard about it that it was friendly fire too.
100% that was heard that was friendly fire, but the reasoning why, and that they covered it up, and the family supposedly found out or something.
Right.
I don't know.
Wow.
And his Biden's son die overseas?
Yeah, Bo
did,
Biden, yeah.
It's crazy.
John said he works for Delta, and the reason why they're not allowed to have flights is departed aircraft are seen as a threat because they may confuse them for military aircraft versus landing or inbound aircraft. That makes sense. Okay, guys, so we've talked about this. We're going to switch gears here. We're going to talk about the Titan Submersible. I'm going to play this clip and then we'll get into it. This first clip is pretty intense. So, guys, if you have small children in the room, I highly recommend you have them leave. The Titan Submersible is an emotional, triggering situation. And I have to play this clip to show the implosion. Okay, guys, I know that you guys are into this kind of nerdy stuff. What did you think of my video? Was it accurate? And so what do you think?
I mean, I didn't know it was that graphic. Like, damn. But I mean, I'm just going to say this and how it needs to be said. I do not feel bad. I'm sorry. And I'm just going to say it straight up. What do you think was going to happen when you went to the seafloor? Where I don't have my controller, man. But when you went to the seafloor with a Xbox controller and something that has never been tested to go to that depth. You had his word saying, "Oh yeah, I've tested it. I've gone to the Titanic and it went with no evidence to back it up. Like, I don't care how much money I have. I would never do something that idiotic. You are going to a graveyard at the end of the day. Why do you want to go down there and see that bad? Leave them alone. They've suffered enough.
For sure. Remember that joke by Dave Chappelle? You're going to a watery grave.
Were people upset about that?
Because he was making fun of these people. Gray, what'd you think of my video based on the facts that you know? Was it accurate? Are you freaked out like Enzo? I think I may have gave Enzo a heart attack tonight.
It seems pretty accurate. I'm not freaked out. I mean, like for me, I'm not gonna go underwater into like a submarine, so I'm not like scared of it. But to piggyback off what Enzo was saying, it's like that what Doc is saying right now, like that's how much you take all that money you have, and that's what you plan to go do with it. So it's just like it's hard for like regular people to look at these people and have any empathy because like you have all this money, like you can really do anything that you want. So I think they were trying to like do something like the endorphins, the pleasure. We got to do something super big just to even feel fun anymore. So they tried, and it didn't work out for them.
For sure. And I did hours worth of research on this, guys. John has a good point, especially being a carbon fiber hull, which had never been tested before. It wasn't bent like metal. It was a death wish. So let me be clear. The reason why carbon fiber isn't good is because of the integrity of it. Over time, it disintegrates. And also, I got to give this guy a shout out. Rich people problems. Do y'all remember how much they paid to go?
It was a crazy amount.
How much?
I think it was 250 grand.
250. But what he would do, the guy who we're going to learn about, Stockton Rich. First of all, Stockton was from a long line of good stock. Two of his relatives signed the Constitution. He's like less than 1% of people in America can say that. But two of his relatives signed the Constitution. So he came from some coins. So what he would do is if you ain't write him back, he'd be like, oh, there's a discount, 100,000. You can come for 100,000. He was just giving away them trips down there to Titanic like hotcakes because some of the rich people was smart and they was asking questions and they was like, this don't sound too safe. Let me play this clip right here because I have a lot of clips to show everybody because I really want to get the story out there because there's a lot of conspiracy surrounding this. This is a clip explaining. Well, let's talk about the controller. So the controller was used. I want to be clear. People are saying that they're still investigating it also, to be clear, guys. So we don't really know the answer. But let me show you guys the controller that everyone was talking about.
Only 3 meters off to the port side stop. So, whoa, come down. Calm down. Keep coming down. Okay, if you get nothing ahead of you, kick ahead, okay? Kicking ahead, slowly. Where is it? I don't know. Just keep going. A bit of hull.
He brought us in to the starboard side and jammed us in underneath the bow. So he had us jammed good and proper. I said to him, please don't do anything, just give me the controller.
We went straight up. We're not gonna hit it. We're gonna get damn close though, right? No, you are gonna hit it. For sure. Chris, if you can keep an eyeball out of the port side of the viewport, okay, we're just looking for any cables, any wires.
He didn't have a lot of experience in piloting subs.
Right. It's a piece of debris. For sure. It's right above us, okay.
At that point, I got us clear, I motored 50 meters away, turned us round, and I said, that is what we were supposed to have done on the dive. And he said, thank you, I owe you one.
So, guys, that was the inside of it. It's a very tight space. What's our thoughts?
Netflix is going to copyright strike you.
Oh, well, we'll take it down.
So that was him doing the investigation after everything happened.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, he was saying at that point they were supposed to go back up. Like, was there some type of warning?
So, let's be clear. First of all, Stockton Rich, the rich asshole that made this company and device, was very arrogant. People were warning him that this device is not safe. He knew that carbon fiber had its issues and he chose not to listen. Also, that guy that was in there, he had like a really nasty lawsuit going back and forth with him because the guy was calling him out, the British Australian, the Scottish guy. He was like, look, this isn't safe. You're not listening to my concerns. You're not taking any of my advice. So he fired him. So he sued him for wrongful termination. Well, first he went and reported Stockton Rich to the the people that investigate these kind of things. I don't know the name, but pretty much it was like supposed to be no retaliation. Well, it doesn't cover against personal lawsuits. So he sued him for everything he had. Long story short. So the guy you saw talking was a captain and he's been doing space exploration, ocean exploration for years, and he just was being dismissive to him. That's who you saw talking. But he wasn't there obviously when it happened because he's alive.
Okay. Enzo?
I mean, he's just dismissing the experts at the end of the day. I mean, like, so if anybody out there want to go, I got the controller right here. I'll start building the sub. I'm gonna give it to you guys. Just give me the 250K and then we'll go. No, like I said, he's just dismissing the experts at the end of the day, thinking he knows best, and that's why he turned into pink mist on the ocean floor. Like I don't know this whole situation. I just knew it from the beginning when somebody said that they're gonna go to the Titanic, and I saw what the thing looked like. Like, first off, you're going to the Titanic in something made of carbon fiber, like Nora said explicitly. It has not been tested to go to that depth. It's not going to hold up. Like, yes, it's 7 times stronger than steel, but it's mostly used in, like, airplanes don't even use carbon fiber like that. It's mostly seen in cars and, like, things on, like, where the pressures are not fucking ridiculous on, like it is down there. And then 2, the porthole, like, that you're going to see out of is, like, this big. So what are we gonna do? Like, put one eye and look at the Titanic? Oh my God, look at the stern of the Titanic. Even though I can go out watch a fucking movie and see what the Titanic looks like, it looks exactly the fucking same. What are you guys really going to look at?
A watery grave.
Wow.
Also, the other thing that this asshole did was he was told you have to store this like device in good weather and you can't store it in freezing conditions. What do you think he did? He left the device there because you pretty much they could only go in the month of June and July, to give backstory. And he was supposed to move the device to better weather and he didn't store it. He just left it sitting outside. So when the next season rolled around, this was when he died. The thing exploded because the integrity was disintegrated. Like there were internal snaps. Oh, and the other thing, when he would go down in it, and I have a clip that talks about it, he would hear like popping noises. And obviously it's the carbon fiber fucking breaking. And he was like, oh, it's normal. It's normal. So can you imagine the sounds these poor people heard when they died? I mean, I guess I shouldn't say poor. There was a billionaires down there, but nonetheless, that was the sounds. It's normal. It's normal. And they believe this idiot. This just shows how dumb people are. I'm sorry. But I have a clip from CNN where they explain it better than me.
Stockton Rush at the top of the program. I spoke to Mr. Stanley just before air. Carl, if you can, describe for us what it was like when you were on Titan and the noises that you heard when you went down on it.
Yeah, so Stockton warned us ahead of time to prepare us. He told us that when he was down there that the submarine had made many loud noises and that this was to be expected and it was not anywhere close to catastrophic. He had also tested models at this point and he knew exactly where the models failed. And so I didn't feel that our life was really in grave danger at that point. I feel the real failure came with cracking over time and also with the joint and water getting in there. And another thing that happened was electrolysis, because even though carbon fiber is not a metal, in some ways it behaves like a metal, that it's conductive. So the salt water in between there and the titanium flange over time would have corroded things and caused even more delamination with the carbon fiber. Unfortunately, I doubt that there's enough.
You don't think it's a coincidence? You don't think it's a coincidence that this implosion happened on the first dive of the season because of the issue that you just raised? You think it's possible salt water could have gotten in even from a previous season or previous dive,
it had been
and just been
working
sitting
away
there the year before?
Yeah.
So you heard these noises when you went down with him. You waited a day. You wrote out an email to Stockton Rush, and I want to read some of what you wrote in this email once you were back on land.
Okay.
You said, "What we heard, in my opinion, sounded like a flaw, a defect in one area being acted on by the tremendous pressures and being crushed, damage. From the intensity of the sounds, the fact that they never totally stopped at depth, and the fact that there were sounds at about 300 feet that indicated a relaxing of stored energy would indicate that there is an area of the hull that is breaking down, getting spongy." Can you explain just what you mean by getting spongy, and also what Stockton Rush's response was to that email?
Well, so I mean, we were actually staying in the same house in Marsh Harbor in the Bahamas during this whole trip, and I took a lot of time to kind of digest the whole experience and send him an email specifically because I didn't want there to be any kind of like heated exchange between us. I mean, he's not the kind of character that would take criticism very well, or I wanted to have him have something that he could refer back to, and that he couldn't just start an argument, that he would have to read it. And he didn't respond in writing. We spoke about it, but we didn't
That's
speak about
funny.
it at
That's a
length,
good
but
one.
He did take measures. He extended he canceled that year's dives and took that carbon fiber tube and cut it up, found the defects, and made a new one at the cost, I believe, of well over $1 million. He was making these tubes out of the exact same material that Boeing is making airplanes out of. I think he actually got the material from Boeing or the same supplier. I mean, he had an over 20-year background in aviation. He was a pilot at 19. He made his own composite airplane.
Right.
And I feel that's also a mitigating circumstance in this all, is that his background in aviation caused him to have he was thinking about it from an aviation standpoint, he switched horses in midstream.
You also wrote to him, the other thing you wrote to him in that email, you said, imagine the project is self-funded and on your own schedule. Would you consider taking dozens of other people to the Titanic before you truly knew the source of those sounds? You knew that he was certainly at that time, under pressure from investors, from people, high net worth individuals who wanted to go out and see the Titanic.
He was under a lot of pressure. I met a lot of the people that were waiting to go, and he kind of brought them out there so that, I mean, they'd already given large deposits, and he wanted them to be able to see. I mean, it was also for them, I think, part of the experience, and seeing, they're not just tourists, they're mission specialists, so they're involved in the whole process, and they were chomping at the bit. They're just like, when is this going to be ready? When is this going to be ready? And if memory serves me correctly, there was even one person who was terminally ill. And I mean, if he kept delaying it, this person might have died before they even got their chance to go.
Mr. Rush told you later on, he told you that there had been a manufacturing defect with the Titan's hull, the Titan that you had been on, and that he made adjustments and made a
So, yeah, guys, you heard it here first. This guy was a cheapo depot, rich, cheap asshole, like they said in the chat. He did everything to cut costs. And also, he would never listen to experts. People told him numerous times about their concerns. He would fire them. So he created an atmosphere where you could not bring critiques and challenges. That was the culture he created. Gray, have you ever had a difficult boss that you couldn't talk to? What's your thoughts?
Of course, I have a difficult boss, and I've had deadlines where you have to do stuff, and the pressure is like, okay, I have to do this if I want to keep my job. And so, like in this guy's situation, now it makes more sense to me. He was under tremendous pressure to get this done for them to go to the Titanic. One of the people was sick, and like you already got the money. So it's just like you were doing
True.
all kinds of shady stuff. You got the money, and you really didn't have the product or the vehicle in this scenario that could actually work. And you took people's money, and so now you're under a time restraint, and then you're not delivering. So it makes sense to me now.
Enzo, was he a rich a-hole or was he under lots and lots of pressure?
I think he was just cheap. I don't even think he was as rich as they say he was. Because, like, I'm gonna go to the chat and say what Keith said. You could have just made the thing out of titanium. That actually probably would have made it down there. I mean, shit.
Well, no, titanium is heavy. Is titanium heavy?
No, titanium. I don't think it's as heavy.
It's not? Okay, okay.
It's significantly heavier than carbon fiber. 100% it is.
Well, that was another. He was being cheap.
Why don't we just go and look at what James Cameron did? He's gone down there plenty of times.
Because he wanted to get more people down there for the same price. This is where he was greedy.
I don't even think I'm saying. I don't think he had the money because, like you said before, he dropped the price from 250. He's like, oh, all right, I'll settle for $100,000 and a pack of Snickers. Like that's what I'm hearing right now from him. So I don't think he was as rich as he was. He was probably in debt for this whole thing. That's why he couldn't store it correctly. Like maybe if it was stored correctly, I don't think it would have imploded the way that it did. But knowing him, he's that dumb that he doesn't care about hearing the cracks. And he's like, you know what? We're gonna push it to the limit. And I'm gonna try to go all the way down there. That's what I'm hearing after this. And then firing anybody who just disagrees with him, like, yo, we're trying to help you, and I'm not gonna be apologetic when I say this. You led to your own demise, well as 5 other rich assholes. Sorry to say.
Facts. I want to show you guys the clip about the design, Enzo, because like this will answer why he used what he did. Again, I don't agree, but like just watch this and then I'll let you go first because you seem to know a lot about it.
Possible weak points in the design of Titan, the submersible that imploded and killed 5 passengers in June. Unlike most other submersibles, Titan's hull was shaped like a pill, which fit more passengers. A sphere has been the industry standard, known to be better suited for deep-sea pressures. When pressure is applied to a pill shape, it's distributed disproportionately and may cause it to collapse, similar to a soda can being crushed. The whole central cylinder used carbon fiber, not the more expensive titanium used in other submersibles. Photographs published by OceanGate show that the Titan was constructed by winding layers of carbon fiber around a cylindrical form. Carbon fiber handles stresses far better in tension than compression. It resists pulling for a while before breaking, but collapses or buckles if pushed on or compressed. Titan's carbon fiber shell was glued to titanium rings on either end. Under the immense sea pressures, the hull's carbon fiber would compress in diameter more quickly than the titanium, placing stress on the glue joint. Most deep-sea craft undergo costly rounds of inspection and testing, but the Titan didn't obtain those. The CEO of OceanGate Expeditions said that the testing stifled innovation. Until the Titan disaster on June 18th, no one had ever died while piloting or riding a submersible into the deep sea, a record that lasted nearly a century.
Dang, y'all. So he broke a record. Enzo, now seeing that you were right, he should have used the titanium. What's your thoughts?
Like even what they were talking about with the deep sea submersibles, how it's a sphere, he could have literally just made a bigger sphere, like literally just made it a big ass ball and fit the same amount of people in it and just did it that way. And I don't think it would still, I mean, yeah, probably with the carbon fiber, how they explained it, it's just glued together to the titanium. It's just the whole design was just bound to fail. Like you're going 3 miles under. Yeah, 3 miles into the ocean, the pressure's down there. There's a reason why submarines, like military submarines, can't go that far. The crush depth is crazy down there. He obviously knew all this stuff going into it and just said, you know what? I know better. I'm just going to make it off carbon fiber and wish for the best. Stupidity.
Gray, what's your thoughts?
Is there like any type of government oversight over this type of stuff?
Well, so Let me answer that. So what he did was his ass was sneaky. He like set up a company in like Canada and then he was like shipping it off the coast of Newfoundland. So he didn't have to deal with America and the oversight. He had the company set up here and then he was setting it up like he was like leaving off the coast of Newfoundland. So he doesn't really have to like deal with either country. That's how shady this guy was.
Oh, so it makes sense now that nobody was expecting this. So yeah,
No.
like now with all like this evidence, this was bound to like happen. Like there's no government oversight. You're in debt. You're taking money, and you're not like investing in like fixing it. You're actually probably spending the money. And they probably didn't talk about that. So sounds like it was bound to fail.
Sounds like he needs to be on trial for RICO and racketeering. Like that's what it sounds like to
Yeah,
me.
basically.
We got the wrong person.
Yeah. I mean, wow, that's wild.
Money laundering,
Yeah.
embezzling. All right. This is my last question regarding this, guys. It pretty much has to do with is exploration worth the risk? Because they were ocean explorers. Let's watch this.
Died trying to make aviation safe and where anybody could participate safely. They died by the hundreds, by the scores, and they gave their lives trying to stretch the envelope, to exceed expectations, to go further and farther and faster. And Stockton was doing that. He was doing it in the depths of the ocean, which is the great frontier on Earth, the last unexplored region of Earth, which is so critical to our own future and critical to the preservation of life on Earth.
And Hamish Harley.
And I'll just add. I'm sorry, Pierce. I'll just add that a lot of the criticism that's mounting up. I mean, I hear things. I've heard. I can't tell how many times I've heard about the joystick. It's a video game joystick, and it's like that's funny, and people laugh and they make fun of it. Well, that's the difference between a government-funded project and a brilliant entrepreneur who is trying to push boundaries. The government would have spent tens of millions of dollars designing a joystick that would have worked perfectly and brilliantly. Stockton Rush was able to find a joystick that worked just as efficiently by using a video game controller. And one thing I know beyond any doubt is whatever happened to that submersible, it had nothing to do with the video game controller.
Before we answer that question, I want to show you guys this clip on the submersible as it was found. This is it. So that's how they found it. That's all they found because it pretty much collapsed, as you guys could see in the video. So is it worth the risk, Gray? Is this worth the risk of ocean exploration?
If the government is doing it, that he's right in the sense where he said that this is the last frontier, like because we do know more about space than we actually know about the ocean. But I just feel like him saying, "Oh, we have this entrepreneur like going on this voyage, this expedition with just these rich people, no experts, no like scientists or marine biologists, anything where it's pretty much like, people know what they're doing." Because like you guys brought the Titanic was actually found because the government was looking for something else. I don't know what they were looking for, but they accidentally found the Titanic. I think it was a submarine. They were
looking for a Russian submarine.
Yeah, and they found the Titanic.
A164, I think it was.
Exactly.
It was Phil Hughes and the Glomar Explorer.
Exactly.
Wow. I didn't know that. You guys taught me something now. Look at you.
It was a CIA op.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what I'm saying. The government just has the money and the resources to build vehicles or submarines or whatever to be able to do this type of exploration. That's how I feel.
So, Enzo, what's your thoughts?
So, I mean, I agree with what Gray was saying 100% with this needs the The ocean needs to be explored by experts in their field, marine biologists, because we do know more about space. We do know more about the sky and everything like that than we do the ocean. And that's actually what scares me at the end of the day, that we know more about that. We have, in some capacity, the technology to go down 3.5 miles to go see the Titanic. Why haven't we gone farther yet? What's really down there? What are they hiding from us? I'm always skeptical about it, because the Mariana Trench, they said, was only, I think, like 4 or 5 miles deep. That's the deepest point of the Earth. But supposedly they got a probe down there that went farther, and it looks like the seafloor when you go past it. There's more down there. So, like, why are we not exploring the ocean more? Like, there's so many things in the ocean that we have not found yet, like shipwrecks, as well as the lost city of Atlantis, and why still haven't we found MH370? Because we're not exploring it for whatever reason. So this needs to be done by the government. It doesn't need to be done by some rich dude who thinks they're gonna be the top of the world because they went and saw the Titanic. Like, let people do. And like the guy was saying in the video about space, or no, I'm sorry, about flying and everything like that. Yeah, hundreds of people died while trying to push the limits and everything like that. But then again, those were either test pilots, they weren't commercial jets that they were just pushing to the limits with paying customers on it. Yes, in the early days of aviation, people did die because of lack of technology and the lack of experience and everything like that. But before that, they had people researching, testing what's going to work, what's not. That's what we need to get back to, instead of just anybody and everybody with money. Like, I don't agree with Jeff Bezos sending people into space just for shits and giggles for 15 minutes, like Katy Perry and them. I thought it was stupid as all hell. Like, we have not gotten to that point where we can have commercial space or space travel yet.
And that video looks so damn fake.
Yeah, I don't believe it.
Gray does. Gray doesn't believe in conspiracy theories. He made fun of me when I said I didn't believe it. But Gray, I have a conspiracy theory you might like. We're gonna end. We have one more topic. So right now, there looks to be a civil war within MAGA. And people are saying that Trump today is not the Trump of 2015 when he first rode down that escalator, which, mind you, this week is the anniversary of that escalator, the 10-year anniversary. I want to play a clip of Trump in 2011 and what he had to say about going to war with Iran.
Will start a war with Iran because he has absolutely no ability to negotiate. He's weak and he's ineffective. So the only way he figures that he's going to get reelected, and as sure as you're sitting there, is to start a war with Iran. Now, I'm more militant and more militaristic than the president. I believe in strength. But to start a war in order to get elected, and I believe that's going to happen, would be an outrage.
This is Trump today, and then we could talk about it and wrap up.
Iranians right now, or do you want to wait?
I don't know. I've been negotiating. I told them to do the deal. They should have done the deal. Their cities have been blown to pieces. They've lost a lot of people. They should have done the deal. I told them do the deal. So I don't know. I'm not too much in a mood to negotiate now.
Are you open to negotiate?
Trump said he don't feel like negotiating. Where's this Trump, y'all? This is all I want to know. Where's this Trump? Gray, I'll let you go first.
First, yeah, that video is going viral because he was talking about Obama, then the whole thing with Iran. As far as what you said, it's like, is it the Trump from 2016? I think in 2016, Trump wasn't the establishment. Trump was like the outsider person changing everything. So like he was this fresh new thing. Now Trump is the oldest president in history. So of course, you know, nobody can fight age. Look at Joe Biden. So it's gonna happen. So that's just the way that it is with people. But we'll see what happens. I mean, like, we're just gonna have to see what happens.
Look at the left taking any chance they get to talk about Trump's age. Look, yo, listen, y'all. Gray was a good sport. This time last year, we was dragging Gray. Y'all can go watch our old videos. We dragged him about how senile and feeble Biden was. And who got it right? What did I predict? He was going to drop out the race and replace with Kamala. Go watch the old videos. Gray was like, no, 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 that's not going to happen. He going to run. And here we are. Enzo, what's your thoughts?
So I mean, I'm kind of happy Trump aged well with what he was saying in 2011 compared to what he's saying now. To be honest with you, in 2011 he wasn't a politician. He wasn't the president of the United States. There's a lot more things that go into either starting a war or ending a war that he understands now. Like, yeah, he's like, I'm tired of negotiating because he's been working tirelessly to negotiate this deal with the Iranians. That and point blank, I'm gonna call it how I see it. The fucking Israelis fucked up. Like, yes, he pulled us out of the original nuclear deal that they tried to broker before because it was a flawed deal at the end of the day, and it didn't secure national security for the United States. They would have still had access to nuclear nuclear material at the end of the day within that old deal. Now he's like, I don't want them to have anything. I don't trust this country. Let's keep it at that. Even if that's in Netanyahu and his ear, or if that's what his intelligence is telling him, regardless, whatever it is, I side with him. And I'm liking how he's aging with this because in 2016, Trump, he was a loose cannon, worse than he is now. He just said shit just to say shit and didn't give a fuck. He's calling Kim Jong-un, who has nuclear capabilities, Rocket Man on national TV. Like, that's why I'm happy with now he's more tamed. Like, yes, he's got his little names for all the world leaders, but it's not as bad and he's not as blunt as he used to be. And that's how it needs to be. He's actually growing as a politician, and I'm happy with that.
Well, guys, for everyone watching, please hit the like button. Tapping is clapping. We do this every Monday through Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We are the new party. We believe in having panel conversations. We are not a debate channel. I got to let everybody know that because if you want to become on as a guest, we don't do debates. We do panel. We all represent all sides of the spectrum. We're going to go and switch over to actually one more thing. I got to play Gray's video because if not, Gray will get mad at me. Where's the video, Gray? Where's the video? Here we go. See, we did record numbers tonight, I think. I'll tell you about it later, Enzo. But shout out to everybody watching. Please touch the screen. We didn't have to have no drama. We didn't have to have no fighting. So thank you for still rocking and supporting us. Enzo, I want to let you go first. What's your closing thoughts? And thank you for coming and supporting us as always.
Always, always. You know, I love being here. It's always a great episode. Shout out to the chat, King, Dev, Alexis, Conservative, everybody in there. Thank you guys for showing up. I really appreciate you guys all day long. To the topics we were talking about, you know, it's a very, very, I don't want to say scary time that's going on in the world with everything going on in the Middle East. But listen, I pray for peace and I wish and hope that this doesn't escalate to the point where World War III could be on the horizon, because at the end of the day, that's not good for anybody. That's not going to be good for America. That's not going to be good for Russia, China, or any other country that's involved in it. That's the last thing that anybody wants at the end of the day. And to OceanGate.
Scuba Steve.
Listen, if y'all want to go, hit me up. I'm going to build it, but I'm just going to give you all the control. Like I said, you guys can handle it. I'm not going to charge you $250K. Just give me $1,000. We'll get it done, and you guys can go have fun. But with that, thank you guys again. Thank you to everybody who showed up. It was a great episode. That's it for me.
For sure.
Okay, great. You're the difficult boss I was talking about. Just kidding. What's your closing thoughts?
So like Nora said, like, yeah, I had to defend Joe Biden for a while. It was rough. I had to go on a few big podcasts. I got attacked a lot. So, you know, it gets crazy, but you know, we keep going. So with Trump, I just hope he knows what he's doing. I hope this doesn't get out of control. I mean, like, even if you're on the other side, I feel like we all live here, so we want the best for us, all of us. As far as like the whole submarine thing, rich people find something better to do with your money. You could easily have him went to the government and said, "Hey, we want to do this," and then you probably could have like changed the military or changed commercial travel. So let's try and like just be better. Always vote.
All right, guys. Thank you, guys. Shout out to the new party team. Thank you to Enzo. Thank you to Great. Shout out to Enzo and Enzo's debates. Thank you for everyone that joined the Discord. You can look up our Discord and become a part of it. So thank you so much to Enzo. Shout out to him for building that. And thank you to his team and so much support in the chat tonight. Record numbers. Thank you guys once again. Smash the like button if you're not smashing it. My closing thoughts are this. I think we are in very stressful times, but open your Bible, keep your eyes on the Lord Jesus Christ, because he will be our protector and savior. Also, going to talk about Scuba Steve and them boys. This is my thing. If they weren't so bored and lacking depth and fulfillment in their lives, fulfillment, whether it came from loving their family, fulfillment, whether it came from spending time with the Lord, they wouldn't have gone down there in this cheap submersible and spent $250,000, because there's 250,000 other things they could have did with their money. So again, what I always say, keep your eyes on the Lord, stay prayed up, and God bless America. God bless our troops. Thank you guys for everyone watching, and thank you to the United States government and our administration. I'm sending prayers for guidance, discernment, and for America to keep their eyes on the Lord. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. God bless. Good night.